everybody and welcome to my channel. So in today's video I have another knitting pattern for you. This is the OTTILIE RUE Dungarees slash romper slash I don't know what we're going to call it. This is what we are learning to knit today. It is just an all-in-one dungaree kind of thing. I'll try and pop on the screen the look I'm going for. I want the dungarees, the cardigan and even a bonnet, and it's just going to be a really wintry lovely look. I have named it the OTTILIE RUE one, named after Zoe and Alfie's baby, seeing as it is going to be sent to them. I've knit it in mustard, which is one of the like colours from her nursery. She's going with the salmony pink and the mustard, sorry. So that's why I knit it in this colour. Yeah, it's going to have a cardigan to match, a bonnet. I'll probably film them too. But yeah, without further ado, let's just get straight into the video and I will see you in a sec. So using my 3mm needles, I'm going to cast on 38 stitches for not 3 months. So what you do is you get like a metre of tail approximately, and then you do one of these loops that are like a pull tie loop, I'd say, and we put that through our needle and tighten it, not extremely tight but just a little bit. And then what you have to do is twist this like so, bring your right yarn over and over again, and this is to cast on. If you're knitting this pattern, you should probably be familiar with casting on, and if not, try the first ever pattern I uploaded on my channel, sorry. That's a much easier one. So we've cast on 2, I loop round like so and over, that's 3, over and over, 4, round and over, 5, and I'm just going to carry on till 38. 5, then we've got 6, 7. Okay, so now I have my 38 stitches. We now knit 4 rows just of plain garter stitch, which is just our normal knitting. So what we do is we put our needle through the front of this stitch, put this stitch over, the yarn over, and like that, and then we just pull this one tight because our first stitch is usually really loose, and then we just do another. So again, I'm just going to show you a bit closer. So we go through this side of the yarn and over and out. So we go through it like so, yeah, over and out, and we're just going to do that till the end of the row. And then we're going to come back, and this is our second row. And on every row as of now, except like a cast on row or anything like that, all I do is slip my first stitch because it gives it a nicer edge for knitting up. So I just slip my first stitch, but I knit my last stitch as usual. Stitch as always, but the first stitch. So this is my second row. Now this will be my third. The ones with when you have both tails at the front, that will be our odd numbers, and also this is the front of the work. So this is my third row. So slip and knit. There we have it, and now our last row again, slip and knit. Okay, so now we have knit the 4 rows of 38 stitches. This is now our 5th row, and where we start adding a little bit of shape to this, which is the like bottom foot slash ankle of our little dungaree suit, romper, whatever we're going to call this. So now we have to do as the pattern says. For each size, this is going to be different because you have so knit 2, yarn over, and then a different amount of stitches for each size, but I'll try and sort that for the pattern. So if you're doing this on the red pattern, it should already be sorted. So what we're going to do is slip the first stitch and knit, so that's 2 stitches, and then yarn over. So in order to yarn, oops, I'm out of focus. So we've knit the 2 stitches, and then in order to yarn over, we get our yarn, and we just literally do that, and then knit. So it's so easy. And we're going to knit 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we should have 2 yarn over. The yarn overs, if you look at the back, they don't have a little line across, they're just a straight line. So knit 2, yarn over, and then I should have 16. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and then it's also yarn over again, knit 2, 1, 2, yarn over and knit 16 again, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and then yarn over and knit 2. Oops, there we go, knit 2. And there we now have added on 4 stitches throughout that whole row. Every yarn over is an added stitch. So we now turn our work, and now we do our 6th row, which is to just knit everything in plain knitting except our yarn overs, which we're going to knit through the back. If you've done any other patterns with me, you will know already how to do this. So we just knit, knit, and then this one is through the back, because if we knit it normally we would create a hole. So for through the back, sorry, we're just gonna knit through this part of it. So we go through it like so instead of the other way. So I'm just gonna go through it, over and over, and that's it, knitted. And then I'm gonna knit to the next one. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and here's the yarn over. If we knit it normally, create a massive hole, so we knit through the back. So we do this and we go through here and knit and carry on. Again through the back and knit. And we should have one more, which is here, again through the back and knit 2. Now we are on our 7th row, which is another increase row. So now we're gonna knit 3 this time. 1, 2, 3, and I'm slipping the first row on every single row from now until I say not to. So knit 3, yarn over, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, yarn over, knit 4 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn over again and knit 16. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, yarn over, knit 3. And again we do the back as we did last time, just knit ordinary in plain guard stitch, and then the back we twist the yarn overs. I am back at the front of the work, so now it's slip 1 and knit 3 because it's knit 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn over, knit 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 15, 16. So we've got knit 4, yarn over, and then 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, yarn over, and now we're going to knit 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yarn over again and knit 16. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, not in focus, 12, 14, 16, yarn over, knit 4 again, and then we just need to knit the back and the last one of the front, and then we are done with the increasing. Okay, so this is our last row of increases, so we're going to knit 5, slip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yarn over, 16 as always, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 and 16. Sorry, I'm not even in focus and I didn't even realise. Yarn over, and now we're going to knit 8, 2, 4, 6, 8. I've done 8, haven't I? 2, 4, 6, 8, yes. Yarn over, 16, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I've lost count, but I know that at the end I've got yarn over, knit 5, so 2 more. Yarn over, knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There we go. And now I'm just going to knit the back, and once I've knit the back, I'm just going to knit 6 rows in plain garter stitch. Okay, so this is after I finished the increases, and as you can see we've increased outwards, and we also have this V in the middle. You can barely see it, but it is slightly visible from the back. So yeah, this is what it's looking like now. We should have a total of 54 stitches on our needle for not 3 months, and now we need to knit 6 rows in garter stitch, as I said earlier. So just knit 6 rows, sorry. Knit 6 rows, and I'll get back to you once I've done that. Okay, so this part we have just knit is the length of the foot, like this way, and now we're going to create the foot area, so the bridge of the foot area, shall we say. And for this we need 2 markers. If you don't have markers, you can always use safety pins or anything similar. So we're going to place our first marker 22 stitches in. So I'm going to count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 22, and I place my marker here. And the other marker is 22 stitches in from the right. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 22, and place it. And in the middle here between both markers, I should now have 10 stitches. So I'm just going to triple check. Oops. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Perfect. Okay, so now we have to create the toe area. So we have to bring this out and not grow the sides. It will all come together like bam, suddenly. So for this, what we have to do is knit 2 together. If you have knitted my frilled bonnet, you will know how to do this. So what we do is we slip the first stitch and knit as usual until our second marker. So I'm just going to slip and knit like so. This part is when the bottom of our dungarees, romper, whatever we want to call these, suddenly just like pops. It just comes into action. So I'm just going to knit all the way to the second marker. So we get to this first marker and we just slip it like that from one needle to the other and carry on knitting. Oops. And now we are going to reach the stitch before the marker. Okay, so we've got a stitch, a marker, a stitch. So we're going to just slip the stitch, get rid of the marker, put the stitch back on, and this will be the stitch before, marker bit after. And what we do is we knit these 2 together normally. Bam. And now what do? We place our marker back on, unless you are going to remember where your marker was. Turn and knit, oops, keep our marker back on, and we knit back on ourselves. So we're going to slip, knit 2, 3, 4. And this one, which is our 10th stitch, take the marker off and bam, knit 2 together. That's it. And then we turn our work, and now I'm not going to place my marker because I know where I have to knit 2 together. It's always my 10th stitch. So slip, knit 2, 3. This is our 10th, so we get rid of it this way, bring it back like this, and bang, knit 2 together. And we're going to carry on like this until we have 12 stitches at either side of the 10. Okay, so now I have got the amount of stitches. I've got 12 and I've got 12, so I'm just going to carry on knitting to the end of my row here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Oops. Here we go, 12. And now here what I have to do is cast on 6 stitches at the beginning of here. My favourite way to cast on is to just do as if we're going to knit, so we go over, and then as you pull it back, we're going to bring it out and put it on the end of there. I hope you did see that. So that's one. Wait, let me do it a bit closer if my camera will allow me to. So I'm going to knit as normal, but instead now what we do is we bring it onto here, 2, and then pull it 3, and again 4, and again 5, and the last one 6. So I should have 6 add-ons. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. And now I'm just going to knit all the way to the end of my row. So sorry, I cast on the front side, not on the front row, on the front side, and now on the beginning of the back side I'm going to cast off 6 stitches. So then as this grows and this is smaller, when we then fold it, it's perfect to sew up. So I'm just gonna slip my first stitch, knit my second one, and bring this one over like so. That's 1 stitch cast off. Here we're gonna knit, and then we bring this one over like so, 2 stitches cast off, 3 cast off, 4, 5 and 6. And now I should have a total of 34 stitches. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 22, 24, 26, 28, 32 and 34. Okay, so this is what we do for every single size, but obviously we will have a different amount of stitches every time. So now I'm just going to knit all the way to the other side. Brilliant. So this is what it should be looking like. As you can see, we already have the toe area of our romper, and I think this is so cute. I love the colour, and I really hope Zoe receives this and loves it. Okay, so now I'm going to knit, and I'm going to increase. I'm going to increase on every 6th bubble, which is, so every 12 rows, 11 rows. It will be on the 11th row, so it will be like on the 11th, then on the 23rd, 35th, 47th, and so on. It will all be written down in the description, and if you're doing it with me, it will be a lot easier. So I'm just going to knit 10 rows, and I'll get back to you for the 11th. I just want to add that my favourite way to do this is, seeing as you need to increase on every 6th front row, I just count my rows in 2s. So this is my first round, I call it. So my first round is my first bubble, so I have to go and come back, and that's 1. I go, come back 2, go, come back 3, and so on. And then I know that on the 6th is when I increase on the front, and on the back I knit through the back. But anyway, once we get there, I'll show you. So I've done 1 front row, and now I'm going to do 1 back row. then it would be 2 front row, 2 back row, and so on until I do 6. That's just like the easiest way for me to do it. I do it in sets of 2 rows. So the front and the back, 1, front, back, 2, front, back, 3, and just like that. That's like my way. Like everyone gets their little like way of doing stuff, and that's just my one that makes it easier, and I thought I would share it in case, I don't know, you want to give it a try. And if not, just remember that like every 6th bubble is every 12 rows, and you have to increase on the 11th, I want to say. Okay, so I have finished 5 bubbles, so this is my 6th one, which will be my 11th row, and I'm going to do an increase, sorry. So what we're going to do is slip my first stitch, I'm going to knit 1, and I'll do it here on the second one in, I think. So yarn over and just knit to the last 2 stitches. Knit, 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 and we're not even in focus, there we go. Knit to the last 2 stitches. Like if you've done this far, you know how to yarn over. So we just get to the last 2 stitches. And here we go. And now what we would do is just bring our yarn from here up and knit, and that's our extra increase. And then we're going to turn our work, and on the back, which is now our 12th row, we are going to slip, knit, and then knit through the back, which if you remember is just like that. Instead of going through the needle, through the yarn like that, we just go through this way and knit to the end and do the same. And that's literally it. That's just how easy the increases are, and we have to do one of those every 6 bubbles, so on every 11th row. So as of here, 11 rows again, increase, then knit through the back, and then another 11, and like that until you have done a total of 6 increases, which will be 12 increases, so 6 rows of increases. Okay, so I have finished my leg. This is what it's looking like. How cute. I'm so pleased with what it's turned out like. So although I've decreased every 6 bobbles, which is every 11 rows and blah blah blah, you have to make sure your work measures approximately 16 centimeters to the foot area, and also about 19 to 21 width, because then as we put them together it has to measure about 21 to 23, I would say, the whole waist. So we want it to measure about 19, 20, 21, because then when we fold this and put the other leg to it, we then add like 2 or 3 stitches for the crotch area. Anyway, so this is how it's looking. Now we have to put this on hold and do the other leg, and the other leg we do exactly the same, except once we've done the increases for the toe area, we don't cast on and then cast off. We do it the other way around. We cast off and then cast on. So we want it to look like this at this side and like this at that side. If that makes any sense. I think it does. Anyway, so I'm going to cast on my 38 stitches, do the toe area exactly as I did, and I will get back to you to do this part here. If you did your knitted cardigan with me, you will know that this is how I put my stitches on hold. You can either just grab like another ball of wool and another set of needles, or another set of needles regardless. I'm going to also cut my thread quite long, just so then I can use it for sewing up. Yeah, you can use either a massive safety pin, or I don't know, there's lots of ways, but I like to put mine on a thread of yarn. I just think that it doesn't make your, I think it just doesn't make your work way down, and I don't know, I just really like doing it this way. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put my stitches on hold like so. By the way, as I am knitting this, so I started knitting it yesterday morning, and I did not know that yesterday afternoon was the announcement of Zoella's baby. of Zoe and Alfie's baby, and I am so like, wow, Ottilie, she's beautiful. Such a little skinny little person, just like I was when I was born, and really, really cute. Anyway, so we're gonna finish knitting this. There we go. So I've put this on hold, which is our little leg. This is one of them, and then it just sews up perfectly like this, like so, and it is a little foot. So this is one, and now we're going to do the other one. So okay, so as you can see, I've finished doing my foot area slash toe area, and now if we look at the one that we did before, we cast 6 stitches off now at this side, which would be these here if you look, like so. Did we? No, sorry, we cast 6 on and cast them off here. So now what we're going to do is cast them off here and cast them on here, so then this would be like this, basically, is what we want to achieve. So what we're going to do is cast 6 off at this side and cast them on at that side. In about 16, they're measuring about 16 centimeters, both of them, and in the wide they should be from 20 to about 22 together. Mine are 19, as you can see, so in here we need about 2 centimeters, which are the ones that we're going to cast on as crotch. So my needle has to come this way, seeing as this one ends here and this one ends here. So I'm going to put my needle in this way, because it always has to be in the direction of the yarn. So it's going to come in this way, and I'm going to count my stitches. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 4, 46, and here I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 44, 46. So it has to be 23 stitches at the front and 23 stitches at the back. So, and I'm going to place my needle and start picking up 23. Okay, so I now have all my needles, all my stitches, sorry, all my stitches on my needles. So I'm just going to start. So I'm going to knit my first stitch and connect to my ball of yarn. So I'm going to flick that over and now just get that to the length I want it, which is about there, and start knitting 2, 3. And as we said, we want to add 2 centimeters here, so I'm just going to triple check and measure my 2 centimeters, which for me is 2, 4, I'm going to say like 6 stitches really, 2, 4, 6 stitches, yeah. So now I'm going to cast on 6 stitches. So I turn this one, and using my other needle, as we did earlier, I'm going to cast on 6. So I'm going to, as if I'm going to knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I'm going to turn again, and I'm going to carry on knitting these that we haven't yet connected. Okay, so as you can see, I've now made it to 15 centimeters, which is what we need for 1 to 3 months, and I'm on the right side of my work. I know this because the toes are to the front, or also because my tail is at the front. And now I'm going to start decreasing in order to create the bib area of our romper dungarees, or whatever we're going to call it. So what I do is I slip my first stitch, as I've been doing throughout the whole romper dungarees, whatever we're calling these. So knit 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, and then we're going to knit 2 together like so. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, knit 2 together, and we're going to knit to the last 12 stitches. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can either place a marker if you think it's easier, but the markers just like irritate me slightly. Sorry. So we're just gonna knit all the way back, and then when there's 12 stitches left, I'm going to knit 2 together, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 here. Knit 2 together just as you knit normally, but instead of knitting through 1 we knit through 2 and knit to the end. And voila. Okay, sorry, so I think I didn't say that we only decrease on the front of the work. On the back of the work we're just going to knit it normally, so without any decreases, just knit from the beginning to the end. And we're going to do that until we have 14 centimeters worth of stitches left on our needle. That's for for newborn and 1 to 3 months, and then I think the rest of the sizes are 16 centimeters, but I'm not entirely sure, so double check on the blog post that's linked in the description, because that's where I put everything with more, like the sizing with more detail but less description of how to do things, because it's just really hard to explain it without showing you. Okay, so I've decreased until I have 14 centimeters here, and now I'm going to do the buttonholes, and I want to do them 4 centimeters in, seeing as it's then going to be an 8 centimeter strap. Sorry if the lighting's changed. So I'm gonna slip the first stitch and knit 4. Well, hang on a sec. I'm gonna place my markers just so then I know where my decreases are, so I don't have to think about buttonholes and decreases. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Here is a decrease. And my other decrease. Sorry, I've got my pattern here written on my blog post. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, just to not get it wrong. Here. There we go. So I'm going to just decrease and also do my buttonhole like I said. So slip the first stitch, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to yarn over, knit 2 together, and that's 1 buttonhole. Like so. Knit 4. Slip the marker, knit 2 together, which is our decrease. And now knit to 2 stitches before my marker. Here, knit 2 together, knit to my last 4 stitches. Okay, so as you can see, I've finished the front of the romper. The buttonholes are quite small, but they're going to stretch over time anyway, so we don't want to make them too big. And now it's time to pick up the back part of the romper. So we have to follow the direction of the wool, which for me is this way. So you have to follow this cord. It has to come this way, and then this other cord ends there, so it has to go that way. And we're just going to do the exact same thing as we did at the front. Knit up, decrease, cast off, but then we're going to do straps, so I'll meet you back for the straps. I just thought I'd pop in to remind you, seeing as I also forgot, we've got to yet cast on 6 stitches between these 2 legs. I'd actually forgotten, so I thought I'd remind you in case you've forgotten too. Okay, so now I have the centimeters I want for the top, and it matches the back, the front, sorry. It's now time to cast off, but we need to leave the amount of stitches for the straps. Sorry, I'm like fumbling my words, I've just come back from a walk and I'm a bit tired. So I'm going to knit 8, which is the amount that I'm going to leave for my straps. If you want to leave yours, I don't know, 6, 7, 10, it's all up to you. And I will probably leave them wider if it's for a bigger baby too, on bigger sizes. So I'm going to knit 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, I don't know, it's not really in proper focus, hang on, there we go. And now I'm going to knit 1, knit 2 and cast off, and then knit another 1, cast off, knit, cast off, and I'm going to do that. This is on the front side of the work, by the way. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 8. These are my strap, and now I'm just going to knit until I have 7 left on this needle and 1 on this needle. So again, 3, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, I've got to 8, so now I'm just gonna knit these to the end. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I'm just going to knit back and forth these 8 stitches until I have about 14 centimeters I'm going to do for 1 to 3 months, and then I have to rejoin my yarn to these 8 stitches and knit those for another 14 centimeters. Okay, so I cannot believe it, but we have finished. It felt to be dragging on quite a bit. Seeing as I've done it in plain knitting, it just seemed to take a really long time, but I'm really happy with how it looks. You can see here the decreases, the buttonholes, 14 centimeter straps and everything, and now we just have to sew it up. So I'm just going to crack on and do it. I think it's kind of easy to know how to sew up, but I'll just explain it in case. So now I'll get this thread and sew the heel backwards on itself like that, and then you have to sew the heels up across. I don't know, I think it's kind of easy to just sew up, and I'm just going to sew it till about the armholes, about where I start my decreases, then obviously put the button on and everything like that. This is so ta-da, ta-da, we have finished. I finished the romper, the dungarees, whatever we're going to call these. They're my little OTTILIE ones. These are the ones that are going to be sent off to Zoe. I'm not really happy with the sewing up, but I'll give it another little go. By a little go, I mean wherever there's, I know I've got a little hole here, so I'm gonna just sort that. I must have skipped a stitch. You can't really even see it, but I am a bit of a perfectionist, but I'm really happy with what it looks like. This is the front, and the back is just exactly the same, just to make it a really easy basic romper. Look, you can see the hole from here, so I need to sort that. But yeah, this is also a loose stitch, but anyway, once it's been washed and blocked, it will look a lot better. But yeah, look how cute it is. I'm really happy with it. Now I'm going to be also doing a pattern for a cardigan to match, and it's going to have leaves around the neck. So if you want to see that, be sure to subscribe so you can be notified, or even hit the bell, sorry, to be notified when I upload. But yeah, this is it. I'm thinking of doing a bonnet to match as well as the cardigan. Sorry, I've got hair on my table. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. I think it's really cute. I really hope you did enjoy this pattern and found it easy. If you did, please be sure to let me know down below, or even just hit the thumbs up. It will mean a lot. But yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I've already said what you should do. You should also subscribe if you haven't already, because I really want to get to 1,000 subscribers. Like, that would mean the world to me. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, if you are to make the romper, definitely send me on Instagram. Like I always say, I love to see your pieces and share them. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again very soon with another video. I do have 2 ready to be edited and uploaded as I film this, so I'm not sure what I will upload first, but yeah, look out, watch this space, because there's new stuff coming. Bye bye.